This video is for business leaders who want themselves and their team to be more creative so they can solve problems better, faster, and with more agility. Do you work in a creative field? Unless you work in a factory, nothing ever changes, and there are never any problems. Chances are your job requires at least some, if not a great deal of creativity. And this video is about ways, a simple way to increase or improve that creativity substantially. So watch to the end for bonus material about how to use meditation to solve problems and the recommended video about building a creative and collaborative company culture. So daily videos are just one of the creative challenges I face, and meditation is one of my foundational solutions to a job and activities that are highly demanding of creativity. I don't normally do what I'd call the breakout meditation, which is designed for creative problem solving, but more on that in the bonus material. Normal daily meditation usually delivers everything I need. I meditate almost every day, usually for about 3/4 of an hour. And essentially that provides me with not just consistent, but even an invasive flow of ideas and solutions. So more ideas than I really ever have the time to act on. In short, meditation has so many cognitive and mental health benefits that it's the equivalent to regular exercise and a healthy whole food diet that everyone knows would make them far healthier than every magic pill and miracle supplement combined. And it's so simple that I can teach you in under a minute, and yet you can spend a lifetime mastering it. But some Christians won't meditate for religious reasons. They feel that it is against the philosophy or the beliefs of Christianity, and that's no problem at all. You can still do something that is, as far as your brain's concerned, is meditation without violating your religious beliefs. So if you're religious and believe that you shouldn't meditate, pray or meditate on the Word of God instead. As long as you do it frequently, but ideally daily for 15 to 45 minutes or so, your brain will receive the same benefits. If you have time and your schedule allows you to do it, praying or meditating twice a day works even better. If you have no religious reason not to meditate, I suggest you try the method that I learned from a book, and this method is based on Tibetan Buddhist meditation. Very simple. You probably heard it 1,000 times, but either you decided not to try it or someone told you how they have the special secret and for a mere $1,000, they'll teach you the real meditation. They're lying or they're delusional. So here's all you need to do. Sit comfortably or lie down, but if you want to lie down, you need to do this either immediately after waking or when being very well rested. Fair warning, if you try to meditate by lying down when you're a little bit tired, you will just go to sleep, usually very quickly. So in that case, if you have a little bit of fatigue and you want to meditate, just do it from a sitting position. A comfortable sitting position is usually enough to keep you awake enough to meditate without falling asleep. Now just focus on your breathing and put all your attention on it. That's the main secret. It's not about emptying your mind of thoughts. You can think of it that way. You can also think of it as filling your mind with paying attention to your breath. That is putting all your attention on one thing in the present moment. Everything that's outside of that moment is not really what you should be paying attention to. Simple. Now, what I like to do is I like to take the longest breath in and the longest breath out that I can possibly do without being uncomfortable or running out of breath or air. And I focus purely on slowly breathing in and out. That's the entirety of my meditation. Now, some people prefer to say a word to themselves mentally, and it's called a mantra, and it's just a meditative sound. Now, the TM or Transcendental Meditation movement will, or used to, maybe they've changed, I don't know, claimed that if you take their special method, which is nothing special, it's essentially what I've already taught you, that they'll give you a special mantra that's only for you, except that's not true. Any emotionally neutral sound or phrase will work. I used to use the word one as my mantra to mentally repeat that word to myself on each time I breathed out, until I realized that I could just dump the entirely unnecessary mantra and use my breath as the mantra instead. That is, use the breath itself as a mantra rather than using a word. And I've never looked back, and that was decades ago. So the only thing you need to know is pay attention to your breath, pay full attention to your breath or your mantra, put all your attention on that. And when your thoughts wander, which they will, when they wander away from your breath or your mantra, just bring your attention gently back to whichever one you're doing, your mantra or your breath. That's it. That's all there is to meditation. Anybody tells you otherwise, there's some variations on them, but if you can't find it for free, which it's all over the place, anything you actually pay for is not better meditation, it's just less money. Thank you for watching this far. You've already reached the bonus content. Excuse me. This is a problem-solving technique, and it comes from the same author as the above technique that I've just described. This is Dr. Herbert Benson. He was a Harvard-trained cardiologist and pioneer of the scientific beginning of mind-body medicine, recently deceased in this year, I believe. He called this technique, the technique I'm about to teach you, the Breakout Principle, and it comes from the book of the same name. So it's really all you do is you choose a repetitive rhythmic activity that takes some, but not too much attention. So it has to take a little bit of effort and attention for you to be able to do it, but not too much. So in his book, The Breakout Principle, he actually suggests needlepoint or knitting or crochet or some activity like that. The activity isn't so much essential as long as it has the right criteria, and those are very simple. It has to require some focus, but not too much. It has to be repetitive, and it has to have a rhythmic component. That is, that repetition has to happen on sort of an even timing, like tapping your feet or playing a drum or playing music in general. I usually do this by doing land skating. So I have ski poles, and I go pole, skate, skate, pole, skate, skate. It's very rhythmic. It works perfect. So that's all you need to do. You can do that. I sometimes use my Power Kite when I'm flying it, and it involves basically this motion, and that's mostly it. And it's also very rhythmic. And then what you do is you take that activity. Now bring your attention to the rhythm of that activity and relax. So in other words, relax into the activity, into the rhythm of the activity, paying attention to the activity, the same way I was describing with the mantra or your breath. Now just let that activity, that rhythm, that repetition entrance you. Now think about the problem or challenge you have. Let your mind wander and ponder the problem in a relaxed way while continuing the rhythmic activity. That's it. That's the whole thing again. Very simple. Now, an important thing here is it works shockingly well, but only if you approach it mentally from the right perspective. And that is, so long as you allow your mind to wander for a solution and not burst a vessel in your brain trying hard to solve it. Right? It's not like, I can get this. It's like, no, it's just sort of floating around in your head. You know what you're thinking about, but you're not thinking too much about it. You're focusing at least some of your attention consistently or ongoingly on the rhythmic activity, whatever it is. And then it's just the idea, the thoughts, the solutions. You're just letting stuff sort of bounce around and letting yourself mind wander, which is normally considered a non-meditative technique. But if you do this with a rhythmic activity, It works extremely well the majority of the time, as long as you're not trying to basically force yourself to solve the problem. That is the problem if you're stuck on that solution, is trying too hard. It's like trying hard to sleep. So it's more of a way for you to sort of allow the solution to surface while engaging in that rhythmic activity. That's it for the whole breakout principle, or breakout bridge, as I sometimes like to call it, form of problem-solving meditation. And the recommended video for today is about how to intentionally build a creative, collaborative corporate culture. I'll put the link there for that. And please share this video with any business leader who wants to level up their creativity or that of their team using one of the most ancient, reliable, and healthy practices we should all be doing every day anyway. This has been Crush It Club 278. Yes, I'm a few days behind now. I got to catch up. It's less than one a day now. But this has been Crush It Club 278. Best way to meditate. Meditation for creativity. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.